You're listening to the Dice Tower Network. If you like this show, you might like On Board Games or the Board Game Point of View podcast. Find out more at dicetowernetwork.com.
Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas when you don't know what to do or say. Party Gamecast. It's all fun and games. We'll show you new ideas to play. Party Gamecast. Having fun is easy when you know what games to play. Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas so you can party away.
Welcome to the missing episode number 78, the Party Gamecast, featuring the Party Gamecast podcast about party games shaped to parties. I'm your moderator, Bruce. Thank you so much for listening. Happy New Year, happy holidays. You're going to be able to tell when you listen to this episode that we taped it going into Thanksgiving, because this is the one that came out before the Thanksgiving episode number 79 that we put out about a month ago. So we're going to make some references to things that are happening at Thanksgiving. Obviously, those don't need to apply to you. We also talked about, or you're going to hear in a moment, that we were up for a Mobbie Award, which is a local new media award here in the Baltimore area, and we ask you to vote. No need to vote. That is passed. We were third. In hindsight, had this episode gotten out, maybe we would have been second, which would have been nice. But it's nice to know that we can get nominated and be in the top for a local media award, though the Golden Geek, I think, will forever be elusive to us. But I think the competition might actually be a little bit harder for the Golden Geek in sheer quality of work. Not to knock the fine folks in Baltimore, but I think the folks that noticed the Mobbie Award may not necessarily be the absolute top tier. Yeah, I said that. I can start a fight with, I don't know, the Baltimore Brews show and whatever show about the Orioles or Ravens you have. As for New Year's resolutions, we really are going to try and get the show out once every 3 weeks. We think we have a plan. I can tell you exactly what's going to get in the way of the plan, which, depending on where you are, might be a good thing. As you well know, because I've told you many times, I do work for the fine folks at North Star Games, and they are sending me to nearly every convention that exists. If it's a large-size convention, I am going to be there. That does two things. One, it means I'll be able to meet a lot of you, which is awesome. The bad thing is that punches in the middle of that every 3 weeks, because it's about one a month as it all works out, with the first one being PAX South in San Antonio, Texas, on the same weekend as the Royal Rumble, though unfortunately I am not going. But that'll be the only thing that could potentially interrupt our flow. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Gigamic games of Caribou Camp and Gloobz. They sure are games. We want to thank fine folks for sending them out. As for ad breaks, we're going to have one ad break, and we're going to have one remote What the Food. We had a What the Food sent in from Mark Drezja. We're going to check that out, I believe, in the first ad break. And the second ad break, I think, is going to be an actual legitimate ad again. We have those. So, yeah, you know what? Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the new year. Let's start off 2017 with a new episode of the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast. Thank you for listening. Welcome to episode number 78 of the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast, podcast about party games shaped to parties. Your moderator, Bruce. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Gigamic games, Gloobz and Karibou Camp.
Gigamic?
Gigamic?
Gigamic.
Hey, however you say it, it spells fun. That's what we were saying on the other show, wasn't it, Brian?
I believe that's what I heard
we were saying
on
the other show.
The other show.
Yeah, on board games. Joining me on the show is Rocki.
Howdy.
Brian.
What's up?
And Mike.
Hi.
Hey. How are...
A little tired,
Yeah.
maybe? Little?
I'm all right. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like I have already mispronounced the company that sent the games over, so that...
You probably got it right in there somewhere.
One of them had to be.
Probably.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gigamic?
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 I don't think Gigamic is...
Gigamic?
No, that's...
Gigamic?
No.
Gigamic.
No, it's
Gigamic.
Gigamic.
Gigawatt?
It's like Gidget. Gigamic. Like Gidget. Gigamic.
Gigamic.
Yeah, like Gidget.
Gidget.
Jumping...
Gigamic.
Man.
Thank you.
You're welcome, listeners.
Wow.
And you're welcome for Gigamic or whatever your name is.
Remember, however you say it, it spells fun.
Sure.
We'll be talking about those in just a minute. Let's jump into let's get topical.
Yes.
Ooh.
And I know nobody realized we had topical things to talk about, but gosh darn it, we do.
We do?
Yes, because the Party Gamecast, featuring the Party Gamecast, podcast about party games, games take to parties, is up for a Mobbie.
Which you don't know what it is, because we barely know what it is.
I hardly know what it is, and I nominated us for it. So, the Baltimore Sun, newspaper you probably heard of watching The Wire,
Yes.
has a set of awards they do every year, or at least the past, I think, 6 years, for modern media, for sort of new media, I guess on the NU. New media, including podcasts and websites and blogs and et cetera, et cetera. And we are up for the Mobbie for Best Audio.
Now, when he says we're up for it, it sounds like someone like there at an editorial board like got together and nominated us.
That's totally what happened.
That is not at all what happened,
That
Bruce,
is partially what happened.
No, that is not
That
even
is
a little.
partially what happened.
Which part of it?
Okay, so you could nominate yourself or others. And then once they got all of the nominations in, I think they pared it down to what the nominees are. They might not have. I don't know.
I feel like the list, I mean, it's not a small list,
No.
but I feel like it would have been 60 things if there had been every possible audience submission.
That's also kind of how I feel, although they have a write-in, but it's like 13 or 14 different entries. And I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like had it been completely let loose, it would have been like 70 entries.
Yeah, I'm guessing they went back and checked, like, oh, is there one episode of this podcast? You don't get to be nominated. But hey, we've got a couple.
Yeah, we have a
So-
few. So because of that, now here's the great
Yeah,
thing.
so welcome to episode 78, folks.
Welcome to episode number 78.
Yay.
So the way they do this is they don't have a board of people that know anything about this do anything. Why do that when you have the internet?
Yay.
Yay.
Random popularity poll.
They've decided to do it the way all things are done on the internet with a poll where all of the public can vote every day.
Oh.
Yep.
And what we've learned in the last few weeks is you can totally trust the public.
Absolutely.
Are we getting really topical here?
No, we're not getting that topical.
Okay.
So here's what we suggest you do. We will put a link in the show notes. We will also bring it up at least once or twice a week on our Facebook. We've mentioned it on our Twitter. We'll probably mention it some more. Take any of those links every day you think of it. Go to the audio part and vote for the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast.
It's actually Party Gamecast featuring Party Gamecast, the.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's an interesting choice on
It
their
is
part.
comma the, yes.
They got all grammatical
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I just saw all the words and went, that's us.
It's even
Yeah.
more ridiculous.
Yes.
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah.
When's voting go through?
I don't know. I asked them on Twitter, and they never answered.
So no matter when this podcast airs, go and
Do
vote. No matter how long it is till you listen to it, even if it's 2018. Try to go vote. See what happens.
We know it started, I believe, on November 10th was the starting day. I have asked them on Twitter, hey, when does voting end? And they have decided not to answer. So whenever you hear this, just take a look. If it's still up, give it a vote. It is called the Mobbies, Mobbies. It is from the Baltimore Sun. We're up for the 2016 Mobbie.
Just a small point.
Yes.
If you try to vote for us and it doesn't seem like the survey works, you probably have an ad blocker. Turn that off. It doesn't, like, just this minor technical point.
Yeah, they're not just doing these Mobbies to honor things.
Oh, no, there's all kinds of plugins that are going to need to be active for things. So, yeah.
And stuff.
So we're sorry that their plugins need to be activated on you.
Yeah.
But we're just asking you, because here's what I really want to see. I want to see our little show that can't win a Board Game Geek Award win the Baltimore Sun New Media Award.
But we can present them, right?
We can present what? Oh, yeah, no, we have presented. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, okay.
Yeah, we can present.
So if we don't
Dice
win the
Tower
Mobbies,
Awards.
can we present those too?
Oh, I hope. I don't know what the after party is, because I'm sure we're going to be invited to something that probably has a heavy ticket cost involved.
Yeah, that's
they do.
not so much as invited as it is just begged to pay us.
Yes.
Yeah, they do say that there's some crazy party they're throwing for all the winners.
I'm sure there is. And I'm sure you don't find out if you're a winner until you show up there.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
long as I
I'll
get
go to
the
the
party.
I'll go to the party.
Yeah.
So to make sure that there's a reason for us to be there, we ask each and every one of you to vote. It costs nothing other than that you have to get your ad blockers off. Once again, the Mobbies, Mobbies, from the Baltimore Sun. We're up for best use of audio. Don't even listen to any of the other shows. We don't care if they have a better use of audio. Just assume that we do. That's what I would say.
I feel like we should have also entered the most entertaining category because there are a lot of repeats.
Yeah, I thought you can only enter one.
We're also not very entertaining.
Shut your face.
But we definitely use audio.
Yeah, we know there is no doubt that we are coming in through your ear holes.
We use audio to not be entertaining, yes.
So with that, we're going to jump into the part of the show we know you're listening for. What the food?
What the food?
What the food?
Let's be entertaining.
Yeah, we're doing too much with the food today, but we're going to do it. We've had one potato chip we've had sitting here for a very long time that I want to knock out. Rocky, tell us about
Oh,
it.
thank you. It is Deep River Snacks Limited Edition Ninja Ginger. I believe one of our I believe one of our Twitter followers,
Which you can find at Party Gamecast.
at Party Gamecast, tweeted us a picture of these and said, I believe.
How do you get that across in Twitter?
There were more words involved.
And I believe there
okay.
had to be at least 2 emojis.
Yeah, fits into 140 characters.
So, let's see. Their motto is, because we give a chip. And, let's see. How do they describe? Of course they describe them. Of course they do. These chips are sure to give your taste buds a kick with a sweet, savory, and slightly spicy combination
Oh, goodness.
of ginger, chili pepper, and cilantro. Enjoy and let us know what you think at Deep River Snacks. Oh, don't worry, Deep River Snacks. We'll let you know.
Oh, yeah. And so will quite a few people listening. You know, I think I want to quote... I just watched a media presentation about Lucha Underground, and they said, we really know that we turned the corner when we added nunchucks. And I think that's how this is about to go.
Are we going to add nunchucks?
We're going to add nunchucks.
What?
I don't think I want to eat nunchucks.
So,
It's
man.
Ninja Ginger.
It smells gingery.
it smells vaguely gingery.
The bag smells somewhat gingery and potatoy, which seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Little
a
green
little gingery.
green flecks on them. I guess that's the
I'm going to guess that's the
cilantro.
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 C.
It smells good.
Very good. As soon as I get it in my hands, I'll let you know. It's in my hands now. Yeah,
Although I love ginger everything, so
Does
I'm probably
it
just
definitely
going to
smells
this.
like ginger, but not a lot like ginger.
No,
Nom.
you get some ginger. It's not real strong, although it grows a little.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And they're right. It's a little sweet.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoy that.
No, that is a really tasty chip.
It's pretty
Like-
nice.
Like I said, I like ginger everything, so just that little hint of ginger.
I have to agree.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I would definitely enjoy more of those.
Yeah, that's not bad.
The best buy date on these was last month. And I would say they're
so
still
they're pretty-
in surprisingly good condition considering.
They're only a month out, and the
Yeah.
bag was sealed.
Yeah, it's not
There's a
like last
nice
year.
little kick of ginger.
Yeah,
I don't know that I get the ninja. I guess that's the kick of ginger.
yeah.
What's the random vague spice on the end? I guess it's definitely not ginger spice. It's definitely a chili of some sort, which they told us
Oh, yeah, I didn't
in
pick
the
up.
description. It wasn't like spice. It was more like warmth. At the end.
I didn't pick up any, but then my capsaicin radar is not normal.
Yeah,
so.
no.
This has natural extractives of ginger.
Ooh.
Not extracts, extractives.
That sounds like how we would have sold it in the 1800s.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fairly sure an extractive is something that extracts.
We're going to help you with the dipsy and all your other problems with our extractives of ginger.
The dipsy.
The dipsy.
It's like digestives. It's
Yes.
a cookie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a thing.
It is a thing, but it's how we're going to solve your problems with the dipsies that children have.
The dipsies.
Oh dear.
The dipsies. I think that might be an award we're up for, too.
Now, is this going to have any harmful effects with the snake oil that I'm using for the dipsies, or
No, of course not.
okay? There's no
Dr. Mustard steak oil is going to be great.
no contraindications for
I think we already covered
Cross.
that game.
No, as long as we have the extractives of ginger, that should be the thing that really takes care of the problem.
Sounds
Okay.
like you work for Herbalife.
I feel like I work for Herbalife. Now, if I can just get 5 of my friends to buy these,
And then
and
five
then
of their friends.
we will totally not be a pyramid scheme that will totally profit me.
This is This has drifted away from the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
topic at
I'm sorry.
hand.
Wait a minute. Dice Tower Network cares.
We're topical.
So, we are staying topical. So, how do you feel about these? Rock, you taking these to a party?
I am. They're nice.
They really are. I'm sorry that they're limited edition. Brian, how do you feel about these?
Absolutely. These are really good. I wish we could find them more easily.
I agree, and in bigger bags. Mike, how do you feel about these?
I like them. I don't think I'm as big a fan of them as you two seem to be, but they're pretty good.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing. If you can find the Ninja Ginger from the fine folks at Deep River Snacks, take it to a party. I think people are really going to enjoy this. This is going to be way different than the, like ranch chips that you're going to normally find. This is entering into legitimate, tasty, and kind of weirdish ballpark.
But not so weird that people who aren't expecting, like people who think that ranch chips are weird, are not going to think that these are inedible.
That's
true. It's not like really crazy like some of the things we eat. It's just really good and different.
Yeah. Now, speaking of some of the weird things we eat, we do have two more chips on the show because we have a battle of hot steak on steak.
Meat on meat, really.
Meat on meat.
Hot-
meat on meat action.
Hot sausage
Hot
on
meat
sausage.
on potato on meat on potato.
Yeah.
Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Something like that, yeah.
Sausage on sausage action.
It's some hot sausage on sausage action. So, what do we have here, guys? Somebody tell me what we have facing off today in our main event.
We have 7 selects hot Italian sausage with 0 grams of trans fat per serving.
7 selects from the fine folks
It
at
also is certified rockin' flavor. I don't know who certifies that, but I would like to be on that board.
I think we should start certifying rock.
I feel like
Yes.
it's probably Guy Fieri.
I don't want to be on that board anymore. The other one is Boulder Canyon Authentic Foods Backyard Barbecue Grilled Brats Flavored Kettle Chips.
So it's grilled brats versus hot Italian.
Hot Italian.
Which one first?
I don't know. The ones in my hand is
Okay,
the
there we go.
grilled
That
brats.
sounds perfectly reasonable. Backyard barbecue grilled brats. Here we go.
Oh, that's good audio.
Yeah. Right in your ears.
If you're wondering, hey,
Right,
what's the
so-
sound of a guy failing to open a bag?
Now he's just molesting it.
Why am I watching this? I can't look away.
Yeah.
I
The
need to
visual,
pour it open.
you guys are missing out on the visual.
There was a notch.
Of course there was. I'm really getting almost like an Old Bay chip smell out of the bag. I'm not really getting a grilled brat smell out of the bag. The fine folks here at Boulder Canyon.
Yeah. Doesn't taste like Old Bay, though.
That's probably good. Sausage shouldn't usually taste like
It
that.
also, on the first taste,
works.
does not taste like grilled brat.
No, it's very mild.
Yeah, it
It
does
not a
have
strong
a-
flavor.
a vaguely Old Bay or something scent to it.
Kind
The
of
chip doesn't.
vague, smoky barbecuiness.
I'm not even getting that. Maybe my taste buds are off, but all this tastes like is a potato chip.
They're very, very subtle.
Yeah, it's a very, very light flavor.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing to remember is bratwurst is a very mild flavored sausage. Most
Yeah,
people
but it still
forget
tastes
that.
like sausage, not potato chip.
I get a little bit of sausage, but it's real faint.
Yeah.
It's like they were on the plate next to it, and the bratwurst touched them.
Well, it's like, okay, so you know the potato rolls?
I do.
So you grilled up a nice brat, you set it in the potato roll, let it sit for a couple minutes, took it out, and ate the potato roll, so it's got a little bit of sausage flavor stuck to it.
I feel like more it's like you took the brat, took the brat, put it in the potato roll, took it out of the potato roll, handed the potato roll to our friends, the flavor engineers, and they tried to engineer that flavor.
Yes.
So we're even
Yes.
a further step away from what a grilled brat would taste like.
Oh my!
Yeah, there's been brats near this potato product.
Yes.
They were in the same room.
They were eating them in the lunchroom.
Yeah, it's like those warnings about it
Yeah.
was produced in a facility that has handled nuts.
Yes.
There were some brats in the same building as these potato chips.
I'm not
I
sure there
understand.
were. I think there might have been like a picture of a brat in the same building. And that-
Like
they had-
somebody had a picture from their backyard barbecue, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Dude, I totally made these
This,
brats this
is
weekend."
what we should make this taste like. Can you get that from this picture?
They were like, "Hey, can you show that picture to that frying bin of potato chips?"
It is a very pretty picture of a brat on the bag.
Oh yeah,
That
that
looks very
picture of
tasty.
that brat. I mean, the brat in that picture looks real tasty.
I want
Yeah.
to eat that brat.
Yeah.
I want to eat that brat too.
I want that brat in my mouth.
But you know what I don't have in my mouth? Any
That
brat
brat,
flavor.
any brat flavor.
No.
No.
This tastes like a potato chip to me. Rock, how'd you feel about this? Would you take it to a party?
No, because they're disappointing. They don't really bring the flavor to the party.
Brian, how do you feel about these?
Yeah, I agree. They somehow have less flavor than a normal potato chip that would just have salt on it. Like they weren't. especially salty. They weren't. No, I wouldn't take it.
I understand. How about you, Mike?
I mean, if they were there, I wouldn't turn them down. They're just kettle chips.
But let's pretend, Mike, your $4 are being spent on a bag of these. Are you taking these?
No, I would rather spend less on a regular bag of salted potato chips.
That is exactly how I feel. If I see a funky flavor on the bag, even if it's a funky flavor I don't like, I at least appreciate the attempt far more than I do it just tasting like a potato chip that you put in a weird bag. No, I wouldn't want to take this to a party. I'm sorry, because I was really kind of excited about grilled brat, the potato chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No dice.
Apparently, meat potato chips are the new thing, as listeners will hear in the next few episodes.
A lot of the ones on our shelf are.
Well, I specifically I noticed, because this 7 Selects is from 7-Eleven, they have 2 or 3 different kinds of meat-flavored potato chips. Then I was in a Rofo the next day, and they had 3 different flavored...
A what?
For those who are
Royal
not from the
Farms.
area, yes, that stands for Royal Farms.
Royal Farms, which is a convenience store and occasionally gas station.
They're known for their fried chicken.
It's
Oh my
it's
goodness,
like
their
a
fried chicken is good.
7-Eleven kind of. They're competitors. So I was in there, and they had 3 flavors of meat-flavored barbecue or meat-flavored potato chips, and so I was like, we're going to have a gas station meat-flavored barbecue chip-a-thon.
And gosh darn it, if that is not what we're working on right now.
I sure showed up with 7 bags of these things, so we're gonna work through them, I guess.
Absolutely. And now let's open up the next one from the fine folks at 7-Eleven. Now, I feel like this would really have to be awful to not be better than the grilled brat chips.
But I don't put it past 7-Eleven to make an awful chip.
That is true.
Now, that smell is a lot more like what it should be.
You know what I always wanted to try was the Big Bite potato chip, but I was afraid I would open the bag and it would just smell like New Jersey.
Which one's the Big Bite? Is that the...
That's the hot dog.
It's been there for about 52 hours.
There you go, Rock. Let's take
didn't know they made
wow,
a Big
that
Bite
is a heck
chip.
of a smell coming out of there.
That's very peppery.
Good.
Wow.
I feel like I'm not going to like this because I don't like green pepper.
The flavor engineers worked overtime with their wrenches and salt shakers.
That smells exactly like it should.
Wow.
Tastes pretty darn good, too.
Yeah, that just smells perfect. Oh. Yeah, you immediately get that Italian sausage bite.
Yeah, they did not miss a beat on this to the point to where Rocky is visibly upset.
Yeah, you can taste the peppers and the onions, like the grilled peppers and onions with the... Oh, that is on
Bravo
point.
7-Eleven.
No doubt.
Yeah, that is amazing.
We may have to enter them into the Chiptathlon or Chiptoberfest or...
See, but we've already
passed
tasted them.
Chiptoberfest, too.
No, but I mean, clearly, so what I'm saying, I realize these chips can't be a part of it. Because they have already beaten the teeth out of grilled brats, and that's what they need to do
If there
in
were
today's
teeth
main
in those
event.
that might have been the problem with the grilled brats.
That might have been the
There
problem
were
with the grilled
teeth in them.
brats. But clearly, we need to consider some 7-Eleven flavors the next time we do a snack brackets, because they came to play.
There's some more in the other room. And they keep putting out new, weirder flavors, so... Yeah.
Wow.
Might have to go to 7-Eleven just to check these out.
I understand. Rock, how'd you feel about this? Taking them to a party?
No, because I don't like them. I can appreciate how much they taste like what they're supposed to taste like, but I don't like what they're supposed to taste like.
That is a shame. Brian, how do you feel about this? Taking them to a party?
These are wonderful, and I would take them to a party because they're good chips and they're really novel.
They really are. Gadzooks.
Yeah, and I got them at 7-Eleven, which I would not expect 7-Eleven store brand to be good. I just thought it would be amusing. These are actually really tasty.
They're much more tasty than I gave them any potential credit for. Mike, how about you?
I'm not taking these to a party because I want them for myself.
I understand. I would take them to a party and share them with others so that I'm not eating all of them myself because I'm sure it's terrible for me. But gadzooks, 7-Eleven coming to play in today's main event of grilled brat versus Italian sausage.
We're not doing the Chip Olympics today.
No, but we're doing a main event.
Chiptathlon.
We're doing a main event. It's not Chiptoberfest, but
Not Chiptober.
It's not Chiptoberfest, but we were doing a
it's
main event today.
September, I guess.
Yeah.
It's Chiptember, yeah.
Yeah.
Chipsgiving? No.
No, Chipsgiving is another episode.
That's another episode.
That's coming up soon.
Yes. It'll be coming up very soon as you're hearing this. Remember, every year we do an episode we put out somewhere right around Thanksgiving, normally either right as Thanksgiving starts or sometime during the day on Thanksgiving. Sometimes I'll edit it on Thanksgiving and put it out.
Yeah, because you don't want to watch that football game.
No.
What is it, the Detroit Lions that play every year?
I don't know.
Excuse me. The Turkey Day Marathon is coming back.
The Turkey Day Marathon is coming back. Because, I think last year I missed one of the episodes of the Turkey Day Marathon to edit the show.
Yeah. It starts at noon. Very excited.
And then, of course, is Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they show 4 or 5 consecutive episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. The same day that's happening, we'll be putting out an episode. So there's this episode coming out. The next one will be coming out.
Big McLarge Huge.
Big McLarge Huge. Will be coming out the same day. We'll have that there. Once again, back to the chips. I would also take these to a party. They are pretty fantastic. We'll be back to you in just a moment. We talk about our first game of the show, Gloobz.
Kill the cat.
Hey, Party Gamecast listeners. It's Bruce here in the editing bay. We have sort of a rare treat. One of our listeners, Mark Drezja, sent in his own What the Food from New Freedom, Pennsylvania. So we are going to go to that right now. Remember, if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to do a What the Food, we're not going to stop you. We can certainly put that in the block here. If you're interested and you have the recording equipment and the desire, feel free to let us know ahead of time what you're going to be eating, so it's something that we don't have, because we don't want you stepping on our toes. But if there's something that you want to cover and you want to send it in, you can send it to thepartygamecast@gmail.com, and we will certainly add it to the show. But right now, let's go on location live when he taped it to Mark Drezja.
All right, Bruce, here we go. I'm tasting the smoked Gouda limited batch kettle potato chips here on Christmas Day. There's definitely a cheesy flavor, and it is not as smoky as I would expect. And we are comparing it with an actual small wheel of smoked Gouda cheese. It is a pleasant flavor, and it does taste more than just potato chips. Would I take it to a party? I just did, and they're okay.
And thank you for that report, Mark. 2 things I'm going to note. Number 1, I never know how fair it is to compare a potato chip to the real thing, because I think in most cases it's not going to stack up, although if it was even in fighting class with a smoked Gouda wheel, good on it. Second thing, I don't know that you can say, would I take it to a party while recording from a party and use that as your proof that you would take it to a party. Not entirely sure that's how that works for us, but I appreciate that you did it, and once again, I invite all of you out there, if you want to do a remote What the Food, feel free. We'll take them. We'll put it in this first block if you're interested. Email me at thepartygamecast@gmail.com to let me know, just so that you're not doing the same food that we're doing. We also, in theory, have a couple we're going to be doing with other people coming up sometime in the near future. But we'll worry about those when we get to them. For now, I suppose let's get back to the episode. And I welcome you back to the Party Game Cast, featuring the Party Game Cast. We're talking about our first game of the episode, the first of 2 from the fine folks at Gigamic. Gigamic. They gave these to us a long time ago, the Dice Tower Con, and they said they would be coming out in October, so they should have just come out to the market. We are covering them now. The first of these is Gloobz. Bryan, tell us how Gloobz plays.
Well, Gloobz actually is pretty simple. You take, you have these little Gloobz characters. They're like these little rubber, look like toys, like they're little cutesy monsters. And 3 colors of paint, yellow, blue, and red. That are in
cute little paint buckets.
Yeah,
I mean, to give all credit where credit's due.
Oh, yeah, no, the
toys
kit
are
is
amazing.
Yeah, the kit is adorable. Like the little monsters are very cute. There's 3 little white and black monsters and 1 Mega Gloob who is all of the colors. He's red, yellow, and blue. And you set these out in a little circle on the table. In the middle of that circle, you place the deck of cards. The youngest person goes first. They take the top card. They announce before they flip it whether they want more or less. Then you flip the card. If they said more, you grab the colors and types of Gloobs that are represented most on that card. If they say less, then you grab the ones that are represented the least, and 0 counts as least. So you might have a card that only has one kind of Gloob on it. You could grab multiple Gloobs for more points. And then the round ends when everyone's grabbed all the Gloobs they want. If you grab the appropriate ones, you get 1 point per Gloob that you grabbed. And if you grabbed the wrong one, you lose 1 point for every one that you grabbed. If there's a Mega Gloob, if he's pictured on the card, you just grab him and nothing else. If there's a magnifying glass on the card, then you grab all of the Gloobs. And every card has different sizes and numbers of Gloobs, so you have to like look at it and quickly process most or least and all that before everyone else does to grab the right Gloobs off the table. And that's pretty much the game. The scoring was based on the number of players. We played with 4. We played to 24. I think it goes as high as 36 for 2 players.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I would say let's knock out some things first. The kit is fantastic. The little rubber stuff looks amazing. The little dudes are cool. The little paint buckets are neat looking.
It's not incredibly cheap plastic.
No, these are quality. These are sturdy, squeezy rubber things so that if 2 people grab them at once, you're not going to damage them or hurt yourself on like pointy corners. They're squishy, sort of like a dog toy.
A little bit, but they don't have the squeaky thing.
No, but they got a little hole in the bottom so that the air comes out, but they don't squeak.
So I think that's impressive. The little scoring wheels are kind of neat. They didn't have to do that. They did. So every person has an individual scoring wheel with what their score is.
Yeah, they did the same thing in the other game that we'll be covering.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of neat.
Gigamic thing.
Gigamic.
Jam.
Gigamic.
So all of that is super cool.
Yep.
I sense a butt coming.
No, okay, and I think where they've set the scores makes it for a good solid 15-minute game. I don't think this game, for what it is, overstays its welcome. No. I don't think at any point you're like, unless you really didn't like it, I think if you were ready for what this is, you don't think it runs too long. You're not like, this is unnaturally long for this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it got the time right.
Yeah, it's fairly quick, but not so quick that it feels like there's nothing there. You know, it's 15-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Is about right, yeah. I think, what does the box say? The box says
0 to
20
3
minutes.
sad onions. That's what it says.
6+ and 2 to 6 players, 20 minutes.
Okay, and I think it absolutely lives up to everything it says in the box.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about how you actually feel about the game. Rock, how'd you feel about the gameplay on this one?
So, it's a known fact that I'm not a big fan of spot it type games where you have to quickly look at something and figure out what you're looking at and then do something based on it super fast. This game reminds me of Spot It. It reminds me of, was it Thumbs Up? The one with the rings on your thumb?
That was Thumbs Up. Ghost Blitz is the first one I thought of.
It was like the one we played at Extra Life with the cups, the colored cups.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like quick cups.
Yeah, where you had to put your cups into the same order that they were on the card.
Yeah.
And quick cups is pretty much Thumbs Up with cups.
Yeah, I was saying,
like there's virtually no difference in those games.
Yeah, so this falls right into that family of games for me. So I know right from the beginning I'm going to lose because I can't process a picture that fast because I tend to stare at it and analyze it and think about it, and so I don't like this game. I can see how people would like this game. The creatures are cute, and if you like that type of game, you're going to enjoy it, but I'm not a fan.
Now, let's do this one thing, okay? So we already acknowledge that you don't like the gameplay on this because you don't like the gameplay on any of these, okay?
Right.
So if you're looking at the market space, you're looking at Thumbs Up, Quick Cups, Ghost Blitz, this. How do you feel it fits in there?
I like this better than Quick Cups because there's more interaction between people. You're not just sitting there well, not quietly, but you're not sitting there working on your own individual thing. You're fighting people over the cute little gloobs.
Okay.
So I think that gets a bonus point.
Okay. So that separates it from Thumbs Up and Quick Cups.
Uh-huh.
Then you're looking at this in Ghost Blitz.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that it might come down with that too.
The kit.
Yeah, the kit. Do you like the little wooden stuff in the Ghost game, or do you like these cute little guys and cute little paint buckets in here?
I don't know. I kind of like them.
Slightly loading the question there.
Well, I mean,
I like them both in their own unique. Like I like the cuteness of this. I like the neatness of the other pieces. So,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Plus, the processing of the pictures is a little different.
Yeah.
In the two games, because in Ghost Blitz you have to kind of think a little more because it's who's in the picture and what are they doing.
I would say this is a little bit more family friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, the picture processing on this one is a lot more like Spot It.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the gameplay is a lot more like Ghost Blitz, so it's a good cross between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, how did you feel about this one?
Like we said, the kid is really cute. For what it is, it's kind of fun. It's a little too simplistic. I feel like this is a good family game probably if you have youngish kids.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something I really want to sit around and play a whole lot of. But like, it's neat. It's not quite my speed of game. I'm not quite where Rocki is, but I know you're much more of a dexterity game, and this is sort of a dexterity kind of, not exactly, but it's.
I mean, there's an amount of dexterity
hand-eye coordination is what it is, which is dexterity.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not terrible at that, but it's not because I don't feel like there's a lot of replay. Like, we don't want to play this for 2 hours, you know, because they're just going to get annoyed. But it is super cute. Like, I love the setup. If I had kids that I wanted to play a game with, like, it says 6+, I would probably 8 to 12 or so.
Yeah.
After about that, I think teenagers would get annoyed with it. You'd have to then become an adult to have fun again. Because this is a childish game. I don't want to play it. But, it's cute. I like it, but it's not... I don't regret playing it, but I don't really want to play a whole lot of it again. Like, if someone really wanted to play it, I wouldn't talk them out of it, but 2 rounds, and then I'm probably done.
Yeah, I can't. I was actually, and you actually caught on to how I was going to frame it. Was if you had to play with kids, okay? So you're facing those kind of. Let's pretend it's like normal kids, and not like gamery kids.
Yeah,
where they're coming up to you with something that's already a gamer's game. Because by 12 they might be.
Yeah.
By 8 they might be if they're really in tune 8-year-olds. But let's assume it's a normal kind of 8 to 10-year-old. How do you feel about it with them? Just your perspective.
I would think with an 8 to 10 is probably a better range than 8 to 12, like I said, because even at that point you start to like this is going to seem childish. I think to even a teenager. Yeah. But 8 to 10 is probably good because at that point they're good. They're quick enough with counting and distinguishing. Because it says 6+, but I feel like a 6-year-old is going to be a little confused. Like if everyone playing this was 6, it would be fine.
Yes.
But like if this is a mix of ages, the older people are just going to win.
I could see that.
But I could see like I don't have kids, but like I had a niece or nephew or kid of my own who was 8 to 10. This would be a good. Probably, filler game. We're not going to play 27 rounds of it, but we're going to play for half an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Mike? How'd you feel about this one?
Well, I think most of what I was about to say has already been covered. I mean, I would say that you really want to play this with... You want to arrange it so that people of the same age are probably going to be playing this against each other. You don't want adults playing against kids, and you don't want like a 16-year-old playing against a 10-year-old. That being said, the age range on the box is probably correct, 6+. I just wouldn't, mix that too much. At the same time, it's not my kind of game. I don't like the snap recognition games like this and Ghost Blitz and Spot It and things like that. So it's not my favorite style of game, but I think it does it well. Of course, the kit is great. It's very cute. There are some nice pictures of the Party Game Cat on Twitter with the kit. It's really about it. Like it's not my favorite game, but I can see why people might like it.
Yeah, I think I have to kind of agree with you, even as the dexterity guy. This is speed recognition, and it's if you like Spot It, if you like Thumbs Up, if you like Quick Cups, if you like Ghost Blitz, here's another one. I think the pieces are every bit as good as Ghost Blitz. They're just different. If you want the chair and the bottle, then you want Ghost Blitz, or if you like the idea that you can play that at Halloween. Pardon me. I think that's a little more Halloween-y than this. Although this is Monsters, so I could see both playing here. I do like that with these being rubber. It happened a few times where we could kind of fight over them and they could bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, you're not going to hurt yourself on the pieces, grabbing for them while other people are.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun that you could kind of swat at them like a dog toy and catch them on the other side of the table and that kind of stuff. I thought was kind of cool. I have to agree with you guys. If there were kids around, then sure, maybe. I'm sure somewhere there's an adult that wants to play this as a drinking game, and you very well might enjoy it. Yeah. But you're going to have to work at it. Like, you're good to make this into that. It's not going to be like some of the Haba games where it feels like they almost intended it.
Yeah,
this is going to take a little work to get there.
Yeah, I don't know how you would. I mean, other than just instead of scoring, you take shots. But I don't know. Like, or take shots for every instead of negative points, you just take shots. I guess.
Maybe
like if you get it wrong.
That might be it. If you pick up the wrong guy, you got to take the wrong guy. You take shots instead of losing points.
Yeah, or you have the option. I could lose a point and fall behind, or take a shot, but have a better chance to keep going.
Yeah, maybe.
But, yeah.
But
what I
feel bad about is that for adult gamers, I'm not normally a big proponent of the let's make it a drinking game, dude. With very few
You're
examples,
not?
I'm not a big proponent of that. No.
I've never heard that before.
Very few games, except for something like Strong Stuff, where it feels like it was built for it.
Yeah.
I don't really look for that. Lupin Louie is another one, as the world knows. That's one that works really well with. So I feel like we're really going out on a limb to even make that happen. With kids, yeah, maybe this would be super awesome. I have to agree. I don't know how I feel about this for adults, unless if you're the kind of person out there that really already loves quick cups and thumbs up, and your group of gamers enjoys Ghost Blitz, this is a great one to consider. Beyond that, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this. So, we've built a whole brand on it. Would you take it to a party, Mike?
No, probably not. I mean, maybe if there were kids there, I'd take it to the party and show them how to play, and then sort of leave it for them.
They'll run by and drop off.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But I wouldn't want to play it, so I wouldn't take it to a party in general. And I don't think most of the adults that I hang out with would enjoy it either. So
fair enough. How about you, Brian? Would you take it to a party?
This is the kind of party where there's going to be young kids?
Let's first say yes, there it is.
Then probably. But
let's pretend it was the kind of party where there's not young kids.
No.
Okay. So you're looking for a young kids party, like a 6 to 9 year old's birthday party. You would feel comfortable bringing this.
I would feel a little awkward inviting myself to a 6 to 9 year old's
wonder.
birthday party.
Let's pretend you have a friend that's got a 6 to 9 year old and you happen to be invited there.
Yeah, this would probably be a good gift, or like I don't have any little cousins anymore, but yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And how about you, Rock? Taking it to a party?
I think you know the answer to this already.
I think I do, but we've built a brand on it.
That is true. I would not take this to a party because no.
I have to agree. As we're heading into the holidays, I do think this would be a good gift to give like a 6 to 9 year old.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a game to give them, this may not be bad. I'm not going to take it to a party. I'm not going to bring it to any of the stuff that we do. At the same time, I still might not get rid of it necessarily, because if somebody likes this sort of game, this is a fine example of this sort of game. Mm-hmm. It's just, unfortunately, even in the world of dexterity games, which are probably some of my favorites, this just doesn't... I don't like Spot It. I only really have Ghost Blitz in the collection because of, it's another Halloween-y game, and it's kind of neat. That's probably all this is going to do in the collection, too. I certainly wouldn't take it to a party for adults. I wouldn't necessarily hesitate to pick it up for a kid as kind of a stocking stuffer, small gift for somebody. But I'm not taking it to a party. So we'll be back in a second to talk about our second and final game of the episode, Caribou Camp.
Hello, I'm here to tell you about an incredible once-in-a-lifetime offer. Okay, it's not really an offer, but more like a suggestion. And it's available 24/7, 365 days a year. But it is incredible! I'm here to tell you about What the Geek. Well, actually, I'm not even here to tell you about that. My friends here will.
What the Geek is a conglomeration of many pop culture and geek culture podcasts that consist of news, reviews, and topics from movies and TV, comics and literature, board games and role-playing games, and much, much more.
At www.whatthegeekpodcast.com you will find links to all their podcasts, including What the Geek, The Big and Little Meeple, Nerdy Girl, The Top 5, and The Board Game Leftovers. There is clearly something for everyone.
Okay, so my friends kind of sound like robots. Well, maybe they are. But I have real friends too. I do. But in seriousness, guys, this is Jim Reed here, and I'm one of the hosts of What the Geek and many of the other podcasts that were just mentioned. And I worked for the Dice Tower for about 7 to 8 years. And I also did my own podcast called Not Just Another Gaming Podcast for close to 6 years prior to this. And we're really excited about the things that we're doing over at whatthegeekpodcast.com. And each one of our shows we're really putting a lot of effort into, and we think it's just a great slate of shows for you over there. And you just need to subscribe to one feed, and you'll get access to all those shows. And right now we just have the What the Geek podcast episode up. It's new, it's exciting. Go over, check it out, see if it's something that you're interested. We're going to be putting out free, informative, and very entertaining content over there. So once again, Robot Buddy, what was that website? One more time.
Welcome back to the Party Gamecast, featuring the Party Gamecast. Talking about our second and final game from the fine folks at Gigamic. Gigantic. Remember, however you say it, it spells fun. Once again,
let's be honest, it's probably Gigamic.
It is pretty Gigamic.
It probably is.
Oh, my children, they whine.
That got a little
Give me a cigarette.
Wow, caricatures.
A little offensive right there.
I'm sorry, all 4 French listeners. I'm sorry.
Get your freedom fries out, folks.
Oh, my goodness. Once again, we want to thank them for sending these over to let us give them a try. Second game of the episode is Caribou Camp. Mike, tell us how this thing works.
So Caribou Camp is a little bit different. This is still from our friends at Gigamic. I guess the extent of the similarity is that they both have these cute little scoring wheels, which we get.
Which are super cool and not really necessary.
No.
But unnecessary in a wonderful way.
Yeah, it's one of those pieces of kit that they didn't have to include, but they did, and it's nice. And they both have, I guess, at least one cute little addition of a completely unnecessary, in this case, plastic thing. In this case, it's a squeaker that is shaped like a big red exclamation point that says Caribou Camp on the top of it. And the game is played in teams of 2. And if you have an odd number of players, that person is the coyote and plays by him or herself. And everyone will get a hand of these animal / scout cards. Everyone will get a team card randomly divided among the people, so that the people with the matching cards will be on the same team. And then there will be a number of cards placed face down in the middle, these animal cards, and then at the same time we will all turn them face up and start exchanging one card from our hand for one in the middle, or you play the scout card and that stops the round. If no one plays a scout card, the round just keeps going until everyone is finished. They just don't want to do anything anymore. Or when someone, in Bruce's words, j'accuse, because the point is to try to pick up on the cues of the other players. It is a set building game, and when you have created a set of one of these animals, you have to do the sign that is associated with that animal and try to get only your partner to notice that you have made that sign, and then they will grab the squeaker and place it on the little disc of that animal. And if they are right, then you both get 2 points. If someone else catches you and they guess that you were trying to sign that, then they get 2 points. And then there's various other point counting things that happen if people are wrong. I will not get into quite the mechanical issues we've had with the game yet. We'll cover that in the review, I think.
Oh, were there mechanical issues?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, I will talk a little bit about the signs. I guess there are things like touching your nose, or sticking out your tongue, or smiling, or winking, or things like that.
Grabbing your ear.
Yes.
And the little discs on the table each have the different animals that are from the cards in your hand.
Yes.
With a circle around what feature you're supposed to be doing to point that out. So
right.
that's there to help you right in the middle of the table.
Yeah. And there's also one disc there for the scouts. You can guess that someone was trying to signal something, but you didn't know what. And if you're correct and they do have a set of that, of something, then you get a point. And if they're your teammate, you both get points. But you don't get the 2 points of having guessed that particular thing correctly.
And then the game plays to, I believe it changes based on the number of players, right?
It changes based on the number of players. So
now let's also look how on the box. How long does it say this game's supposed to last? Let's see if it hits its number because it took about 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, it says 20.
I would say it took a little longer than that for us. Maybe it just felt a little longer than that.
We had some interruptions while we were looking up rules and staring at each other uncomfortably across the table and things like that. So, yeah.
So let's start to unpack all of that because I think that's going to become very important.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The point values you play until
it's 9.
Yeah, it is just
it
9.
Is always
period.
9.
It is always 9.
Okay. Like I said, I know for us that probably took, what do you figure, half an hour or so?
If you cut out the middle parts where we're looking things up, yeah, probably about that.
Yeah. So, all right. So the first thing is you have to decide what you think the spirit of this game is. You're thinking, hey, Bruce, why are you using that language on a game that, if I were to look it up on Board Game Geek, looks like a kid's game?
Because it probably was intended as a kid's game.
It probably was, and was not intended to be put in the hands of gamers. And
no. What kind of games have we ever come across that's like that?
It does sometimes happen in kids' games. As
Especially
we've noted.
really cute little kids' games, like cartoony things. Maybe have little cards of pirates.
Yeah, there have been some.
Yeah.
And often in those cases, you can kind of say, like, well, the spirit of it is clearly this is what you should do. And in most cases, when you hear that explanation for, like, a HABA game, even your most grizzled gamer normally goes, yeah, you're probably right. This is a game where some of the issues caused don't even feel right going with what you feel the spirit of the game is. So here's the situation. There are one card for every player in the center of the table, and you're switching cards to try and make your 5-card hand all match. While that's happening, if you're paying any attention to the table, a half-decent card counter can figure out what other people are going for. Because the last thing they took, and then they stopped taking cards, and you're like, oh, well, clearly you're working on bears.
Yeah, you could see whenever you have to put down a card and pick up another card. You could see what card they're dropping and what card they're picking up, so you kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, you don't even have to be much of a card. Card counter seems like an overkill. You just have to pay attention and be like, oh, well, Bruce last picked up a beaver, and he has not picked up any cards in a round, so...
I believe they call it a marmot.
They may.
They do call it a marmot.
Is that what the instructions called it?
It does. Well, it also says polecat rather than skunk, which is
it's a marmot.
A little unusual.
It's an unlicensed marmot.
Yeah.
I feel like someone put this through a translator. I didn't look at
perhaps.
it.
They're nihilists, Brian. That's what the problem is. You can't trust nihilists. They believe in nothing. So,
at least it's an ethos.
So the problem with all of this is
the rug.
Do you believe that the spirit of the game is such? Because if you get to this situation, okay, so like I watch Mike pick up a bear and then stop doing things. So then, remember, there are 2 parts of this game. There's the set collection kind of speed part, and then there is the get the signal out to the other person playing, like in a game like Wink. So once Mike grabs that last card, what I need to do is just stare at Mike. Because Mike's clearly going to have to do that, or at least neutralize him that way, where he can't show anyone what he's doing.
But you also have to manage your own hand and try and signal when you have a thing, and watch for your partner, who is also,
that's assuming we're following the spirit of the game and we're trying to win, as opposed to just stop Mike from ever scoring.
And then this comes the other question: is the spirit of the game violated when I paid attention and saw that Mike clearly has 5 bears? Is it wrong of me, even if Mike does nothing, to pick up the exclamation point, j'accuse him of bears? When he flips all his bears up, I was right.
But he never made a signal that indicated...
Yeah, you didn't catch anyone doing any signal, other than just...
The point is to watch them get the signal, not to figure out what they're going to do.
And the question is are you right about that? Is it really that, or is it just to figure out what they have?
I feel like it is.
No, it is. The spirit of the game is clearly the communication part after the
especially
set collection.
The aim of this game seems to be towards children, and they're not going to be watching other people. They're going to be looking at their own cards and just watching for what they want. Yeah. So that's almost, I don't want to say cheating, because they're not going to be doing that.
I feel like the only way in the spirit of the game that watching cards would make sense would be, okay, I know Mike loaded up on bears and he stopped doing stuff, so now I got to wait for Mike to smile. Like to make a big cheesy grin, or enough of a grin that someone else is going to think it's a signal, because I know that that's the signal I'm looking for a bear. Or he picked up a bunch of raccoons and I got to wait for Mike to give a thumbs up in a kind of subtle way.
And I got to see it before the other team sees it.
And so to me, I think that would be in the spirit of the game, is I know what signal he's going to make, so I don't have to watch for any signal. I know that he's going to make a thumbs up, so I just have to watch his hands. Or I know that he's got to cross his arms somehow. Or what, depending on whatever animal it was. I think that would be in the spirit. But just saying, okay, I know that he's got a handful of one animal, I'm going to just accuse him of that animal. Or even if he's just stopped drawing cards, but I don't remember what they all were, I'm going to accuse him of having a generic set and snipe 1 point out. I feel like that's not really, because that's never not going to be the first move if it's outside of the spirit of the game. Like, you could just do that.
No, what I would do is collect a set of 4 and wait for you to accuse me.
Yeah, but unless everybody at the table,
Yeah, no, then you have people, all of you gaming the system and just watching each other and not doing anything.
Yeah, then it's just a sabotage game. No one's trying to win. Yes. Yeah.
Then you're not playing anymore.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is the scallywags problem.
Or the other problem that could happen is, let's say the other attempt to sabotage would be to constantly grab cards randomly for no apparent reason, just until everyone gets sick of it and throws a scout to make you stop, Bruce.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so I was the worst partner to have.
Oh,
yeah.
Round 1, I never looked up. I played like a child, just looking for my own set.
Wearing a baseball cap while your partner.
But in round 1, we were all kind of doing that.
But I was really bad.
I was staring at you, trying to look at me. He's too far away. I can't kick him under the table. How do I get him to look at me? I had a set before everyone else.
At him.
Yeah. So that was round 1 for me. And then I was like, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, rainbows. Mm-hmm. So then we went into round 2, and all of a sudden I was counting cards and staring at Mike, because I was like, well, Mike, I realized clearly what Mike... No, round 2, Bryan gave me a signal. I knew exactly what it was. He did it perfectly. I still picked the wrong animal because I freaked out because I couldn't believe I got the signal and understood.
We're looking each other in the eyes when I
put it down on the wrong thing, and then looked up, and immediately he had this look like, "Oh my goodness, what did I just do?"
Yes,
immediately after he let go of the red question mark.
Total eye contact. I make the nose touch symbol for the skunk, and he goes, "J'accuse raccoon," which is the thumbs up. I'm like,
and all I could do was say I was sorry.
So then by then I was like, teammate ever.
I was like, okay, I'm the worst teammate ever, but I got this. Now, every time we're shuffling these identification cards to see who's in the same team, and every time it seems to be Rocki and Mike on a team and Bryan and I on a team.
More than half the time, that was the team makeup,
And that was just how luck works.
Yeah.
Third time, I count cards and lock Mike's eyes because I know what he needs to do. So I'm like, just do it, Mike, so I can accuse you.
Yeah, but I knew that you were doing it. And I just stared at you.
You knew that he knew that you would put the poison in his cup.
Exactly.
So we just looked at each other for a good minute or so, just staring while no one was doing anything. And and you guys just looked at us like, what? Oh God, what is going on?
You were unblinking eye contact between me and Bruce.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
and Bruce was doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I wasn't worried about because he was on my team. But you were
I wasn't letting you either of you.
I'm like, I can't signal, and all I had to do was wink. I could have tried to wink with my left eye
because we were not sitting.
You were to my right.
We were on a square table.
But more
or
less, you would not. So when someone just stops looking at the cards and stares at you,
but
I didn't know what you
broke
had.
that deadlock.
Yeah,
by doing the thing that we're not sure you're allowed to do.
Which is, I said, you know what? I know exactly what's going on here. Picked up the exclamation point squeaker, picked the thing I knew Mike had. I was like, J'accuse, you have bears. And Mike was like, I do, but you shouldn't know that because I never signaled it. And I'm like, but am I right? Mike's like, flips over, is like, yeah, you're 100% right, but we both know it's not because I showed anybody. It's because you saw the cards I was picking up. I was like, yes, it's exactly because I saw the cards you were picking up. I only had 4 of a kind. I stopped because I knew what you had. So this is the problem, where the rules are not necessarily rewarding fun. And if you get into this, and we talk about this a lot on the show because people talk about this in party games, is that, well, you should play the game to have fun. What are you doing? If it's a competitive game, and a lot of times, like, I have often been a proponent for just throwing the rules out for a game like Telestrations. Just chuck them out, don't play with them, don't ever look back.
Although that's more of a scorekeeping thing in Telestrations.
That you should not do.
Yeah,
you should never do that. But the rest of the rules are, I mean, just pass the things around, that kind of thing.
But the case where there's a rule set and a competition to win something, I don't think the things that we're talking about here are so far off the beaten path that something shouldn't have covered them in the rule book. Yeah. You know, even like if you're playing with adults or gamers, counting cards is a perfectly legitimate way to, or remember that counting cards is not within the spirit of the game and you should not pay it. Like, just a note. And then on that note, I would be judgy, but at least the note would have been in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, don't do this.
Hey, gamers, don't game this.
Yeah, don't game this. Stop.
Yeah, it seems like I mean, it's clearly meant for kids or teenagers or something, but it seems like it wasn't play tested with just adults. Like, or if it was adults who aren't gamers. You know, and I like those things all occurred to me immediately, but I knew that it wouldn't, like, the game would never end. So I wasn't trying to do them, but everyone else was. But I think my quote at the time was, it depends on whether you're playing this game to have fun or to make sure that no one else has more fun than you.
Yes.
You know, which I can't let you win. You know, and some people, I'm not even judging, but like that is some people's approach to gaming, and I get like that sometimes too, depending on the game. This, because of its cutesy, lighthearted nature, but my brain will figure out that, but not go there unless someone else does. You know, and once someone else did, I'm like, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah, and with me, once we had like a 2-minute deadlock, I was like, well, I'm going to end the deadlock. Like, this has to end because I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's just such a weird situation. Now, I will put one caveat in here, okay? Because we only played it 4-player. The game plays up to, what, 7?
It plays 3 to 7, yeah.
So there is a possibility that once you get to larger numbers, that maybe there are just enough targets out there that it becomes a lot harder to do this.
And it seems like when you have an odd number and you get the lone wolf, there's no signaling to read on the lone wolf, and you can't accuse the lone wolf.
Yeah.
So you have to accuse each other or signal each other quicker before the lone wolf wins just by accumulating cards.
Yes.
Because the lone wolf can accuse you and steal your points, but you can't steal from the lone wolf. So coyote, sorry. But so that sort of, I think, adds something that forces the other players to not stalemate until someone, and play chicken until someone breaks.
Yeah, because I fear
the lone wolf will just sit back and win while you two stare at each other.
Yeah, there is a possibility that it may not be so much that at all numbers this game is broken, but more that the box should say 5 to 7 players. And maybe that 4, because 3 is not going to work. I can't imagine.
No, that can't be fun.
Yeah, like 2 and 3.
A team and a coyote.
Yeah, I don't feel good about. 4, we've had some fundamental issues with. Mm-hmm. That, like I said, maybe at 5, maybe with a coyote, all of a sudden it changes. At 6 and 7, maybe there are just so gosh darn many targets that you can't play this game anymore, and you can't follow the counting, and you can't. Like, that could be very possible. I don't know that we're going to revisit it to find out. But if you're out there and you've played this and you've played these larger numbers and we're wrong, we can accept that. We can only talk to you about 4, and I feel like we definitely need to add that because I could definitely see with more people where this becomes a harder thing to do. Not that this isn't still potentially a big problem, but with more targets, it just becomes a little harder to take care of.
I think even at 6, without the coyote mechanic, it would still be a little different because it wouldn't just be 2-on-2 head-to-head. There's different ways to catch it, so there's more going on. You're cycling through cards faster because more people are flipping them.
And there's so many more people to have to try to look at.
Yeah, and I honestly, if we wanted, like, I'm not saying we have to, but if someone wanted to play this again with an odd number of people, I would totally play it just to see how the coyote mechanic changes, because I feel like it would just put a stop to the I'm going to stalemate because if I don't do this, you will win.
Yeah,
I can't win,
the coyote
but I can
just keep making cards that and eventually beat you.
Y'all stare at each other all you want. I'm just going to keep making 6 of a kind over here, and you do you.
Exactly.
You're locking each other down while I'm quietly winning in the background.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that would be neat. I would totally play it again just to try that version of it because it would kill the stalemate, I think.
I have to agree. So it might be that this is just a 5 to 7 player game, and we're just under the real threshold for it.
Now, says 3 to 7.
I can't imagine 3 is good. We have our
horrible.
issues with 4. 5 might be where this game begins to shine. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you, Rock, because of all of us, it's not that you don't play games, but you are the least gamery of us.
So I did have that thought while I was picking up cards, because I was like, well, they can see all the ones that I'm picking up because it's really obvious. You can't really bluff.
Yeah.
And I saw that you guys were picking up certain cards, but I realized that was not the point, so I ignored it. And I realized the point was trying to get the gestures to each other, the signals to each other, and I was excited and looked forward to that part. And then somebody decided that wasn't the point. And that disappointed me greatly.
And what's really crazy here is, and I mean this very sincerely, we play these games, and sometimes I see a problem, and I just want to exploit the problem to show there's a problem there.
Deleted the fun part.
I didn't want to. I didn't really mean to.
Delete fun.
I did not mean to delete fun. I wanted this to be an extraordinary game.
I thought it could be really cute, and I think I would want to play it again with, everyone's looking at me, with different people. I want to play games with different people.
We appreciate that.
I want to see other gamers.
We really...
that hurts a little bit when you say it like that.
You don't want to play this with other gamers.
Just on a trial basis.
Yeah, you may not want to play this with other gamers.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
with other people who would play a game with me. How about that? Is that better?
That may be right.
I feel rejected.
Doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do when you exploit a game that's not meant to be exploited.
And like I said, and in some cases, I'll talk to other people and be like, why are you a jerk? Why do you have to ruin... I didn't mean to ruin this. I think the squeaker's cool and the art's fun. And yeah, I agree. I do totally believe that's what happened. But I'll take blame for it so that everybody can hate Bruce.
I saw that.
But
you caught the signal?
Yeah, the giant pointing at me signal. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, because we think Mike might have ruined this. But
Mike did not ruin this. Bruce ruined this.
Well, and I think part of the problem is that the rules,
I wasn't the one who was card counting.
I didn't mean to. Like I just went, okay, that's a thing I've just noticed.
I did the same thing. I just wasn't as verbal about it. I was like, oh, he picked up 3 of these in a row, and he did not. Because that was another thing I started to do is if you notice someone going for the other cards, you could just deny them the card.
Yep.
Like, I'm never going to get my set, but you're not picking up a 5th bear.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, and that's a weird case here where it's like... I don't want to hurt this game. I want to like it.
And the reason why the rules don't address this is because they couldn't imagine that someone would do this.
A bunch of sourpusses like us playing this game.
Here's my problem. How did they not encounter this?
I don't know. Like, because I'm not the kind who wants to deny someone else the win. But if that's the way the room is going, I can do that. So that's kind of what I had to do to stay in the game.
But you can only do it to one person. There are 7 of each animal in the deck. If you get 3 of the animals...
Well, I don't even mean like denying them the other card, but like watching them for a tell or messing with them by not drawing cards even though I don't have a group. You know, that kind of, all the stuff we've talked about is focused on gaming the game so that even if I can't win, I can at least stop you from winning, or I can try
a cookie jar, right, Bruce?
Well, the problem here is it feels a little bit like, and it's rare that I pull these parts of things out, but it feels like this one just got kind of beaten up a little bit in development.
Yeah,
because it's a case where some playtest. There had to be somebody like one of us, or somebody that pointed it out, or
Here's the thing.
And someone just overrode them.
Yeah.
This game is not for us. We are not the target audience for this. This is clearly for children. I don't want to say children because it starts at 8+. So they're not real young, but
they're still children.
Yeah, but not like young kids, but still children. Or families. And mom is not going to bacon over her kids.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're running through the process of playtesting this game, there has to be somebody like one of us that at some point
are not concerned about us being their audience.
I guess that might it may just be that simple.
Let me rephrase that. They're not worried about you being their target audience.
I completely agree. Like this, we are not the kind of person that this is targeted for, because we will try to, whether intentionally or not, we're going to kind of break the game in that way.
Or we're going to try to win, and we've played enough games to realize
to know how to win.
Different ways to win.
I kind of want a version of this where all that other stuff that we added to it is there but doesn't break the game. Like I want that where staring at someone is a valid tactic, but doesn't break the game. Like there's something that you could do to, or messing with someone is to draw cards to make them think that you got a set and then stop when you got 4 of a kind and not 5, and then try to get accused falsely without. I want that game to exist without it being broken.
And I think all of that is in this game, but you have to decide whether the spirit of the game is the.
But I feel like
making the motion or not.
I agree, but at the same time, that breaks the game, because you can bring this to basically a standstill by using those kind of tactics. And I don't want a game that's a standstill where we're just staring at each other and like, no, you touch something first, so that you have a signal that I can pretend I thought was the bears that I know are in your hand.
I mean, technically, that ends I don't know if they called it the round, but as soon as people stop exchanging cards, we're supposed to switch out those cards and keep going.
Yeah, but my point is, especially if you have the tactic of, I don't have a full set, but I want you to think I do, we deal 4 new cards, nobody touches them. We deal 4 new cards, nobody touches them. We deal 4 new cards. Like that can go on forever.
Not playing the game.
And that's my point, is I want a game where that mechanic is there, but it's not broken. Like I like that, but I don't want that to, because that's what this game will turn into, is everyone just stares at each other, no one touches the cards, and everyone gets angry. I don't want that. I don't want that everyone gets angry, but I want this like backstabby. That mechanic I like, but I don't want it. It can't work in this game because this game is not designed to be played that way.
Yeah, I feel like Wink got a lot closer to that.
Have I played Wink?
Yeah, Wink is the one where all the cards are laid on the table. There's a deck on the table and a deck in your hand, and someone will like move a pawn to a number, and then they're trying to figure out who has that number.
I have not played that game.
And you try and tell people by winking, but everybody's looking at everybody else.
Oh. Yeah, I like those mechanics in other games. I can't remember what they are, but I know I've played other games with that, and I love that sort of mechanic.
I don't dislike... And there could be something here. I've never liked the concept. It's exactly what Rocky's saying, and every time someone hits me with it, it just makes me cringe with a board game, which is you need to stop playing to win and just play to play. You're like, well, is there a score?
Yeah.
Well, there is a score, but you shouldn't care about that. Well, then why is there a scoreboard? You know, like there's that part of like that gamer creeps in and grabs a hold of me, and I don't even really want it to, but it does.
And that works. Like you could do that with something like Telestrations.
Yeah.
Because the object there is just to laugh.
Yeah.
And see,
it's competitive. Like it's hardcore competitive one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the scoring component of, and I don't think we touched on it, where it rewards you for stealing points more than helping your teammate.
Yes.
Because if you help your teammate, then you both get points. If I steal someone else's, then I get points, and then the teams change.
Yes.
So if the teams change and Bruce and I got points, now Bruce and I are tied. But if Bruce just gets points and the teams change, Bruce is in the lead.
Yeah, so in the world where Brian and I are on the same team and I know the cards Mike has in his hand, I can either try and get a look from Brian and Brian and I each score 2 points, or I can say, hey, I would like to win the game. I don't care if Brian and I win the game. Hey, Mike, I know what your cards are. Squeak, squeaker, squeak, squeaking. I think I got you.
Yeah, so it sort of incentivizes. But I still think I fall, in general, this game and others, I'm more on Rocky's side. Like, I'm happy to play it in its spirit rather than rules lawyer into a way to break the game. Like, I will see those things, and part of me will probably be tempted to do it, but I am not going to be the one who starts that. Like, if that is the only way to continue because everyone else at the table is doing it, I can join in because my brain works that way. But I would rather, like, I saw the card counting and I didn't do it. Like, I just paid more attention to my cards than you guys until it became clear that that's what's happening. You know, because I caught on to that quick. I'm like, oh, I can watch what they're drawing, and then I'll get an advantage. But let me just worry about my hand. And so I see it the way you guys do, and that's why I was able to join in. But I'm happy to play it in the spirit that it's meant to be. It's just you need everyone at the table to agree to that.
Yeah, this is a rare one where whatever it is inside me, I can't play to the spirit. Like
You can't turn it off.
I can't turn it off. And
You're
not
normally
for
I
this.
can.
Cold, shriveled, black heart,
Unfortunately.
Grinch.
Yeah.
For some reason on this one, like,
You're
I
a
can't
gamer.
let it go, and I don't mean to. I don't want to be a problem. I don't want to hurt this game, but I can't help myself.
Yeah,
Look what you made me do, game.
It's yeah. Oh, blame the game. That's it.
Don't hate the player though.
Yeah, do not hate the player. Hate the game.
Well, no, I like the game actually.
Well, then, let's do it like this. Hey, Mike, taking this one to a party?
No. Most of my friends who would play games are gamers, and they
They're gonna
would
have the same
ruin
problem.
this.
Yeah. How about you, Brian? Taking this one to a party?
I don't think so. I mean, again, like the last game, if there were youngish kids there, like a little older than the last one, like middle school age kids, I might take this. But to a group of adults, one of two things is going to happen. They're going to be gamers, and what happened to us is going to happen. Or they're not going to be gamers, and they're going to think it's silly and childish, and why would you want to play that?
I can see that.
So, yeah, no, I wouldn't.
How about you, Rock? Taking this one to a party?
I would if there were going to be kids there. I think this would be cute to play with them. I think they would enjoy it.
Fair enough. The game that we played today, I don't want to take to a party. I do want to see how it works with 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
I might bring this one to a party where I can get to 5, 6, or 7 to see if that lone wolf thing or the coyote takes care of this, because I think it could.
Yeah, I could see it.
I very much believe there might be the right game in this box still. Maybe the box should have said 5 to 7 players. I could very much believe that, but it doesn't. It says, 3 to 7
3
players?
to 7, yeah.
3 to 7, yeah.
I feel like maybe they did that because 5 to 7 seems too narrow.
It could be.
But I agree. There's a potential. I want to play it again with an odd number, 5 or 7. 7 would be fun too.
Yeah.
And I like the game. I think that there's some flaws in it when you have people like us, and unfortunately, the people I know are people like me. So.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And like
but
I
want to play it again because it's fun. It's
Me
silly,
too.
but it's not childishly silly like Gloobz. Like it's cutesy, but there's actual some mechanics and a little subterfuge there. And I love a little subterfuge in a game.
Yeah,
It's
and
fun.
there's just a lot to like here, I think.
I'm the resistance.
I'm the resistance.
I'm a werewolf.
You are not a werewolf.
You're
just
the
an
werewolf.
innocent villager, which means you are meat.
I'm the whatever.
Once again, I don't know. The game that we played today, I don't really want to play again. I do want to try this again with 5, 6, and 7. There really might be something special here. I don't see it at 4 at all. And I think there might even be that gamer's game at 5, 6, and 7.
I think
It
that
might be there, because more targets makes it harder to do this
you
what we're doing.
can't stare. If there's 6 people, you can't stare at 5 other people constantly. So it's easier to sneak things in. You kind of get that what is it? Time's up mechanic. Or no, not Dead Last.
Yes.
Dead Last mechanic, where you're all trying to, people are doing stuff that you're not seeing, but you got to figure out who's doing it when.
Yeah.
And like I said, the lone wolf or the coyote mechanic, I would love to play it with 7 people. It would be probably really fun because you guys can lock the game up all you want. One of us is going to be over there winning the game while you mess with each other.
And that also makes sense why the coyote has a 6-card hand. Because Coyote's going to keep burning stuff out and make these 6 cards while you guys fight with each other.
Yeah, it's got to take the coyote a little longer to get a set, and it's a little harder to get a set, but they don't have to worry about tells or any of that, But they could
Unless they want to try and catch you.
And they could just sit back and be like, okay, there's 6 of you. I'm going to see someone doing something.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think there could be something good here. I just, unfortunately, didn't see it in our play. So right now I'm going to say I wouldn't take it to a party. Although if I get to a party of 5, 6, or 7 that would play this game, I would certainly like to give it a try. So once again, we want to thank the fine folks from
Gigamic, probably.
I like that, Gigamic.
Gigamic.
I think it's probably right, since I think it's French.
And their logo is broken up into syllables that probably, seem like that would be the right way.
Yeah.
So
we want to thank them for giving us these so we could try them on the show. I've been your moderator, Bruce. Joining me in this episode has been Rocky,
Gloobz,
Brian,
Karibou,
and Mike. And we'd like to thank our theme was written and performed by Shifty Pop. You can find her at Fiverr.com if you're looking for toy-tastic themes. I don't think anyone else is doing them. I think you're really going to have to go to her. It is a signature sound. that we have here on the show. If you want to find us, you can find us on Twitter
At Party Game Cast.
or the cat.
At Party Game Cat.
You can call us on the hotline at 30 Party Game, 30 PARTYGAME. Leave off that last D for savings, because if not, you get the Party Games. It's the Party Games. We get to do the we do that just so we can do the Charleston.
We really do.
You can see us doing Charleston on the podcast.
Yeah, but we don't care. That's why I'm telling you.
While seated at a table.
Yes.
Best audio.
That is why we do it.
That is
You're
good
welcome.
radio.
Yes.
Let's see. You can find us on our website, thepartygamecast.com.
Sort of.
.com.
You could see a version of our past self.
It's only
Yes.
20 episodes behind on the website.
It's something like that. We'll get it fixed. We're working on it eventually.
We're aware.
Yeah, we know. Feel free to tell us every so often. And especially, I will note, if ever you go to the website and it's not there, let us know. Because sometimes we've only learned because fine folks out there in listener land have told us. Every time, feel free to tell us. Because even if we're a little out of date, we always want to be present.
Yeah.
We're a proud member of the Dice Tower Network at dicetowernetwork.com. We're up for a Mobbie. We're a Mobbie-nominated podcast.
That is,
Really make it sound like someone
Do we get
picked us out of a crowd.
do we get a logo for our nominee?
I'm going to check. I think we might.
I hope so.
In case, whenever we update our website, I think we should put it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a logo for
If
that.
there's a logo for that, I think we should.
Mobbie
Great.
Award nominee
Yes.
2016.
Hopefully, Mobbie Award winner.
Yeah.
And the
Obviously.
thing that determines that is all of you out there in listener land,
Which are
Oh,
the
yeah.
mob.
which are the mob,
Yeah.
who can help us win the Mobbies.
Remember, once a day, every day, and if you can figure out a way to have multiple IPs,
Wow.
Folks, let's turn the music off for a second. Folks,
Don't cheat.
we're not suggesting
Don't
that you
cheat.
cheat.
Don't cheat.
no, I'm
Once
not.
a day.
We
Every
want to
day.
remind you that the winner is the person with the most votes.
Yeah, I'm in no way saying cheating. I'm saying
Not-
if you happen
no.
to own multiple devices in your house,
That will not help you.
they depends
If,
on how
for
they connect to
instance,
the internet.
one of your devices is at a Starbucks up the street,
Yeah, that will help you.
that's
Yes.
fine.
If you can switch
That's
your
fine.
phone onto Wi-Fi and mobile data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But we're not suggesting you cheat. We're just
No.
reminding you win this if you have the most votes.
yes.
Yeah, don't cheat. But
No.
the way the contest is set up, it kind of allows
Don't
you to
cheat.
vote more than once.
But do not, by any
don't
means,
cheat.
We are not advocating.
no.
do not cheat.
What you really need to do is share this
Cheaters
on social
never
media
win.
and get all your friends to vote,
And then get their friends
and
to
also
vote.
download the podcast.
And then
Yes.
get
Yes.
5 of their friends to vote.
And then
give
get
us-
5 of their friends.
in a couple
Let's
days.
bring the music back. I think we can bring the music back now.
Yeah.
So, what else? Have I missed any other way to contact? Oh, you can find us on Facebook.
On Facebook.
At Facebook.
We have a guild on Board Game Geek.
We certainly do that. We
Yeah, we do.
occasionally visit once every month or two.
I was there today. I don't have an account or post anything.
You should
but
get
I
an account
read
and
it.
post things because it would help me and all the people that listen because I just sometimes forget to post
All
over there.
5
No,
of them.
I was just looking up where the Durian episode was.
I understand.
Oh, that was yesterday. Yes.
It was whatever. It was in the last 24 hours.
So, there are all the different ways to find us. There are all the different things to do. Remember, we'll be back with a brand new episode on Thanksgiving, on Turkey Day, or for everyone else that's not in the United States, a random Thursday in November.
It's still in
Fourth.
November.
It is still November. The fourth Thursday in November. Feel free to check us out then. Thank
Gobble,
you
gobble.
very much for listening.